Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Only Football, the most underrated podcast in the world. Not even just football podcast, just
in the world.
In the world. Camera's so close up, you can see the craters on our face. Big wild day, Mike. Man, it's
for the neutral fan.
I'm moving Wiley's chip drink.
My boys didn't get it done today, but there's still the playoff, so they'll choke it there.
Who are you talking about, Mike?
Nottingham Forest.
I know, it's disappointing actually. Yop and I were talking about that today. It's like Nottingham's rolling. Bournemouth's been okay, but Nottingham has been absolutely rolling right now. Yeah,
they had a horrible start to the season. I think they did have 2 wins out of the first 10, and now they could have tied on points for second with the last game on the season.
And I think they would have had goal differential too. I think they might have actually if they'd won that.
Man, but they have to get it done in the playoff.
Yes, they do. And you know what? Kudos to Bournemouth getting back up there, and Scott Parker, the most handsome manager in the championship, and soon to be the most handsome manager in the Premier League. Good-looking guy, very well dressed. I need to take notes.
Would he be I guess.
No, I thought you were saying, you're okay, Max. You're looking okay. Never mind.
No, you're not a manager in the Premier League, but if you were.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you. One day. Yeah, Nottingham would have actually had better goal differential. Yeah.
But, that was the match everyone was watching today.
Absolutely. At 2 o'clock until 3. And then...
3:03. 3:03.
And did it start 10 minutes late?
No. That's when Villareal scored.
Oh. Dude, yeah. So, let's hop right into that. And,
it's Champions League football.
I think myself definitely recorded saying tripling down on Villareal, tripling down with the Macedonia thing, and then Bayern Villareal, and then this time with Liverpool.
Yes.
And then at 1-0, I was like, no. And then 2-0. And they leveled it up, man. They leveled it right up. They look great.
And they had chances before. You gotta love Champions League football. That's why, and that gives me hope for tomorrow. Real, hopefully they can get it done. But kudos to Liverpool. Whatever was said at halftime clearly worked. You can say that now, but maybe if Rulli saves that first one, it's still a different.
I think
game.
Yeah, and I'm definitely not counting Liverpool out, just nicking one, for the last half an hour of that match, but. Who knows? Like they could have just reorganized, sat deeper like they always had been, and been hit on the break and frustrating Liverpool. And Liverpool might have been frustrated to the point where they actually exposed themselves to actually give Villareal that lead.
And then
Rui, you could see on his face. You could feel for the guy, and the Villarreal fans were extremely proud. Near the end of the match, it was all done and dusted. Basically, when it was 2-2 it was, but last few minutes they all had their scarves up. They won Europa League last year, and they made a very improbable run this year, beating Juve and Bayern especially, and then really pushing Liverpool
to the limit.
You could argue, I think many would argue, the best team in the world. It's too bad. But yeah, Mike, as you said, in the first half, they didn't rest on their laurels. They didn't really give anything up in the first half at all. Liverpool, I'm not going to say they were a little flat, actually. They were a little bit flat. They seemed a little perplexed as to what to do with Villareal and how to break them down. But besides not really creating much offensively, Villareal were creating those extra chances. They almost drew a pen, right call by the ref.
Very close, but
Alisson's on that. He gets the ball. It's a poor touch from Lo Celso, actually.
It wasn't a poor touch. It was I could see the intention. He took that touch intentionally just to get his body in front. But as long as it's not, no. I think he was planning on getting the penalty from that touch because he couldn't really.
But I'm saying that I agree with you, but I don't think he took it. He didn't make contact enough to actually get it past Alisson. I think he kind of scuffed the touch, which is why it fell into Alisson's arms first.
It happened at the same time, so it's not going to be a penalty. If it's like bang bang, then. Right, someone's a clear loser if it's bang bang. If there's 2 bangs, but if there's just 1 bang, it's a play on, and I think it was the correct call. And
the ref had a very good match actually. Dealt with red card for Villareal down the road. Tensions got. I'm not sure which one. Tensions got a little high. A little bit.
Oh, the crowd was roaring. Sure, and they were in it, and when you hear the crowd in it, with the Champions League game, or even when
you hear a Champions League game, you really kind of slurred that. Champions League game.
It's different, and everyone knows it's different, and I don't understand why they're trying to make it different in the future, but it's perfect the way it is.
In terms of
the format,
well, yeah. So if you don't know, what Mike's alluding to is that they've already switched up the Champions League in 2 years anyway, but they're also talking about making the semifinals one-leg affairs at neutral venues. Like, what are you doing? That's just like, that's beyond me. Is that your antidote to adding all these extra games? Is taking away 2 vital matches?
It's stupid. It's stupid, but
let's not get hung up on that right now. Kudos Liverpool. Luis Diaz comes off the bench, and I think I'm not writing off Jota by any stretch, but man, like,
I know
Jota even gets like the nod today, and he's been struggling to do so lately ahead of Diaz for a good reason.
Yeah.
And then Liverpool down 2-0, blow the lead. They don't create much, and Luis Diaz comes on and he creates a great chance by himself. Right at 2-1, and then a couple minutes later gets on the end of a great Alexander-Arnold cross. Yeah,
with the left foot this time.
Yeah, gets back, no problem.
And pretty much when that goal went in, you could tell it was over for sure. Like, with the new format 3-2, if they held on to like the 80th, like anything could happen. They can just dink a goal and then drag it out to penalty shootout. Anything could happen, but great run. Obviously, not anyone expected them there, but it sucks that it ends here. But I think the better team did go through, and it sets up the better final for whoever it is, Real or City. But all I think this does is
it sets up the nervier final for me.
Yes, it does.
Great. I was at halftime. I was actually thinking like, wow, I could actually be. Real could do this tomorrow, and I could actually be cheering for Villareal in the final. That's where I was. I had a foot in that door. I did.
But what I was going to say is that I think this makes City the favorites for next year's Premier League, because Liverpool have played the maximum amount of games that they could. The maximum.
Yeah.
Which is like ridiculous to say.
Mm-hmm. And yet they're still not going to break Man City's total win record from 2019, was it? It's probably that season. No, they get I think City got 50 wins that season in all comps, and the most Liverpool can get is 49. Anyway, yeah, but
still,
I had to throw in some kind of dig to Liverpool because I'm envious.
Quick question.
Yes.
I heard the statement the other day, and I sort of agree with it. But do you think this Man City team and this Liverpool team are better than the Arsenal Invincibles? Because I do.
Oh, that's not even a question.
I think
the Arsenal Invincibles, were they really even that great?
If you look back, it was obviously a great team, squad for squad, but going undefeated is very impressive.
I don't think I think United's treble team is better than the Invincibles.
I would agree as well.
I honestly, like, I'm not trying to be like just petty here.
No, but it's a trouble.
It was, yes, obviously he went undefeated. It is a great team. You won the league, it's a great team. Anytime you win the league, you have a very good team. But it was like 12 draws in that season.
Draws, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Juve did it too.
Yeah, all right. And
with 15 draws.
Even worse. So, like, yeah. Yeah, that's not quick. No, 2 years ago, when it was 100 points in 99? 199?
No, it was 99
to 98.
Yeah.
Those teams are better in my eyes. Truth be, I was young, and I wasn't watching like I do now. And my knowledge of the team isn't that great, but it's good enough, and it's a very good team. But I would say what you have right now, I think they would overrun.
It's just different style.
Let's say out of 10, let's say this Liverpool team versus the Invincibles
10 times.
I'm going 6-2-2.
Oh, with draws.
With draws, that's where I'm kind of.
That's pretty fair, right?
And I would say the same for City. But
yeah, I think the maximum number of games.
It's wild. And I was just thinking about that today, actually. Sorry, but I think Yop was watching, and he was talking to someone. It's like, I wonder if they'll get tired. I'm like, no, you guys, like, your conditioning's fine. Like, at least for this year.
For this year.
For next year.
Yeah,
and that's the thing is, like, this is a Klopp team. Like, you saw last year, there was a lot of mitigating factors last year with, not having fans, Van Dijk being injured the whole season. But also, a big thing is a Klopp thing. Like, that third season, playing under him, you get run down. So they almost kind of threw away the season. They got top 4, which was really all they could ask for, and by the skin of Allison's head.
Yes.
And you can say that I've always kind of thought they kind of regrouped, like, physically, but that's going to catch up more. It's like, are you going to get knocked off like half a season next year? Under Klopp, this will be Klopp's.
The good thing is
with this core and at the back end of just playing how many games this season?
The good thing is that the World Cup's in the winter, so they'll actually get a summer to recover.
The season starts early though.
What,
the season starts like
mid-August.
No, it starts mid-August anyway. This is like beginning of August this year.
Okay, yeah. But
we're talking like early August. The season starts.
Yeah, okay, but that's good because at least Salah doesn't have to go to the World Cup. He'll get a month off.
Mm-hmm.
Keita, is he?
Keita is Ghanaian?
He's going, right?
Isn't he Ghanaian?
They lost to Nigeria?
Naby Keita, no, Guinea.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. To bear in mind. Yeah, so at least he'll rest.
Matip. Cameron
Robertson might not.
Cameron made it. Robinson might not. Enough of their players are going to be going. That's...
Yeah, Diaz, thank God, won't be. But at least they have that. But honestly, yeah, for this season, it won't affect them.
But you know what? Liverpool fans, listen, I think we're almost pissing in their cornflakes right now because you guys have had an incredible year. The team's like, what a run. What a run. Could still
get in trouble. But you don't classify as the trouble.
They can still get a quad.
Yes, but if they get the trouble without the league, you won't consider it a trouble.
It's like a Europa League trouble. It's kind of when United won the EFL and the Europa League, did anyone call it a double? Seriously?
I would have.
Not being a joke?
No, I would have. It's a double.
It's a double. It's a double. It's not the double.
But it's a double.
It's like...
So you call it a double.
All right, okay, all right, you would have fine. Okay, all right, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. It's a double. They won a double.
It's the last trophy they won. Radio.
I'm aware. Okay. What a run! What a run! City Real tomorrow. No, Syria. Quick. Not quick. I mean, I want to talk about it.
You've been calling it for a month. I know. Let's hear it.
What?
The Bologna.
Dude,
let's go.
Bologna didn't even play Milan or Inter, and we're still talking about them.
Did we talk about Bologna a lot? No, we didn't get a chance to.
No, because we didn't do a Thursday episode. Yeah, so
that's what I mean.
So Bologna's been rolling, absolutely rolling against what they beat Inter on that travesty of a goal. Thank you.
Yes.
What's his name again? Is there
it's
the Romanian guy?
It starts with an R.
Yeah, it does start with an R.
Not Ruli, but it's like Real. No,
maybe something like that. Anyway, Inter's backup keeper, and they missed Handanovic there for sure.
Why was Handanovic not playing?
I don't know.
Did they underestimate?
They didn't rest him. Because
he played the next game.
He did. I know. I don't know. I didn't look into that actually, and I was wondering that when I saw him the next game. But he must have been injured. 100%. 100% he was injured.
He's getting older, right? Maybe they need one rest for the last.
No way. I
don't know.
No, I'm not having it. There's no way. I'm not.
But it was awful. Thank God. Took his eye off the ball.
And a little tapping.
Well, not even a tapping. That was a walk-in.
Well, yeah, it was
a walk-in.
Yeah, you pinky-toed it in. But yeah, and then they went on and drew Roma. And they drew AC earlier. They drew Juve. They should have beat Juve. We're on Bologna right now because I've been loving that squad. But you brought them up.
Are they as hot as Salernitana?
Well, let's talk about that because man, relegate PL and Serie A, top of the table, bottom of the table, firing all cylinders. And like a month ago, the Serie A relegation battle seemed Salernitana rolling.
They got 10 of the last
12 points.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and they were 2 minutes away plus injury time,
making it 12
on the road to Atalanta. And yet they still find themselves, I believe, with the game in hand and a point behind Cagliari, perhaps.
And they play each other the second last game of the season.
And Salernitana play Venezia this Thursday for a makeup match. So they are 2 points behind Cagliari with a match in hand.
And they play each other the second last week of the season.
So Salernitana and Venezia, and then on Thursday, and then Cagliari is on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And then Empoli and Udinese. It's a favorable schedule for sure. And yes, I did say
schedule. Right? They they had 19 points and were the most likely team to get relegated.
Cags have
a month ago.
Of course. Mike,
Is Ribs the captain there, right?
He hasn't been playing.
Yeah, but he's still the captain.
He's hanging around somewhere. I don't know if he's injured or what, but he's not playing. Anyway, it's wild. It's wild stuff. Genoa's not out of it. Venezia need this though. See, Venezia, who've just plummeted and gone ice cold. If they beat Salernitana on Thursday, let's not get too
carried
hung up on this, but
they would need them to beat Cagliari the next.
Yeah, for sure.
And
but they'd still be, because then they play Cagliari as well.
They you know what? I wanted them to stay up the most because of their jerseys. They have the best collection.
They also have Luis Nani now.
As their manager? Or as a player?
Yeah, they got him in January.
Like Nani?
Luis Nani, yeah.
Why do you call him Luis? It's Nani.
Well, I need to clarify for you.
Who's the other? If you just said Nani. When you said Luis Nani, that's why I went Nani.
Fair enough. Wow, they have won since they haven't not lost since February 27th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in a row.
No, we barely beat them, so give them credit.
But yeah, top of the table, Milan do it again. You know what? The thing is with Milan is that they're actually putting in good performances.
Well, they're defensively.
Defensively, yes,
but
offensively, yeah. Defensively, they've been rock solid since.
Since the new year, they've let in 8 goals in the calendar year.
Magnon, massive save. What was that? Like the 80th? It was like 5 minutes before Leo was gifted a goal.
I didn't see the goal, but I saw the save.
It was a gift, but the Magnon save was huge. Could be back-to-back league titles for that man.
It would be, yes.
Lille and Milan too. Like Milan's just been out to sea for ages. Obviously, turned the corner last year. That was, we were talking about Milan a couple of weeks ago, and we've been talking about every week, but specifically, this was, they really turned the corner last year, and they didn't really invest.
Yeah.
But this, and we omitted him. We did. We spoke about Tomori.
Yes.
And we omitted him.
We did, yes. But it was a great investment for the way they lost Donnarumma.
Sure.
But if you still look at it like maybe different now, but at the time it was considered like a downgrade. You know what I mean? But the best you could do in the circumstances. For sure.
No. But
that was part of the reason why it was like, oh, Milan, how will they do next year? They just lost Donnarumma. Mm-hmm. Magnon's been fantastic. He's come in, fit right in, and even when he was injured for a few games, I think they struggled in those games.
They did.
And that just proves how important he is to that team and how good he is overall.
But also maybe like a little less of the noise around Donnarumma.
Yes.
Probably helps too, right?
Exactly.
Also, speaking of noise, and it's a bad segue, but sad to hear about Raiola. You don't as much as I think as a football fan, like he would drive you up the wall, especially depending on what team you support or regard. Like player first did a great job for the players. I personally don't think for the sport he was necessarily a good thing, but definitely saddened.
Yeah, pretty young.
Yeah, absolutely. Still, I didn't figure. I never actually looked back into it because they didn't say what it was originally. And
he's had problems for a while.
January is what I read. Is when he found out. Yeah. But yeah, we will see what happens down the stretch. Inter hangs on against Udinese, and the favorable schedule is
still
for Inter, but Milan need to lose because they have the tiebreak.
Yeah.
So,
but they can't lose. They just have to.
If they draw a match, they have the head to head.
But if they draw 2 matches,
well, yes. Right. So Milan couldn't afford to drop 2 points,
and they still could.
Oh, absolutely. Milan have a sticky
3 points. They have to drop 3 points.
So yes, they have to drop 3. You're right. Points. Yes, they have to drop 3. But yes, I mean, Hellas, who's been a little shaky, but has been good this season. on the road this weekend. Milan's been very good on the road, I will say that. And then Atalanta, who's been really, really bad. But that could just be a game.
Is the game against Atalanta at home?
Milan's at home for that.
Yeah,
but that's
would have been better if they faced Atalanta.
Well, yeah, both road forms and home form, respectively. Atalanta's been really poor at home, and at this point, Atalanta will have nothing to play for, and when you encounter,
they will still have something.
They have
a puncher's chance. They have a puncher's chance at Europe.
Well, yeah, no. Well, they can definitely get Europe. They can absolutely get Europe.
I meant Europa League.
Yeah. There's 3 matches left, and that's just it. But they can play a little bit looser, playing against a loose Atalanta squad when you yourselves, Milan, aren't actually firing offensively.
Yeah,
taking those chances.
They should come prepared, but Atalanta could come in with the mindset of let's play spoilers.
Yeah,
let's play spoilers.
100%.
They wear similar colors to Inter. They might do it for Inter.
Okay. Quickly, PL, Liverpool and City hold it down. Comfortable for Liverpool, but it was only 1-0. It was flattering. It was flattering for Newcastle. Let's put it that way. City walk Leeds, and now we have Leeds. Let's get to the relegation battle because now we have Leeds
joined right back in.
It's all season long. It's in January they were good, and it's they were sucked into it. Like Newcastle, when Newcastle had the revival, they got sucked in, and then Leeds just kind of
they separated. 3-4, right? They won 3-4,
and now they're right back, and now they're favorites to get relegated.
Yes, because they have 1 or 2 more points than Everton. And they have tied with Burnley 1 point, and Everton's 2 points behind with the game in hand, I believe, right? 34, 32.
Well, I will tell you.
But Everton's game in hand is again.
Yes, you're
right. It might come down to the last game of the season, which for Everton and Arsenal, they're both facing each other.
Nice result for Arsenal on the weekend at West Ham.
Yes, indeed, that was 2-1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who scored it was 1-0, 1-1.
Gabriel. 2-1. Yeah, it was Gabriel scored the winner, holding 2 defenders.
2 defenders, right?
Where were you, Kurt Zuma? Attack those defenders like a cat.
Oh man, that was good. I'll give you that. He doesn't have cat-like reflexes, right?
No.
But yeah, a huge result. It might come down to.
He wasn't making the West Ham fans purr.
Okay, we'll quit it now. But Tottenham, Arsenal.
Whoever's watching can see me thinking about that too.
That game, is massive, and
it could be too late by then. For Spurs. Spurs have Liverpool this weekend.
It could be. Liverpool's winning though.
That's what I mean.
Arsenal.
That's what I mean. Arsenal could be pushing for 3rd right now. That's in the cards. That's where Chelsea's at right now.
Yeah, that was a bad loss by Chelsea.
Yes, it was a very frustrating loss. Very, very frustrating.
Everton would have been down pretty much.
I didn't watch the highlights of that actually. I watched the last 7 minutes of injury time, but I heard Pegg made some big saves.
One huge save.
Yeah.
I guess two or three. Yeah, he didn't have a great save, but one massive save on a rebound. He just got it off the line, and he had a good few saves in between, ones that if he were to get beat there, you would question, it's his fault, but he made sure to stop it in the first place. But yeah, that game's in Chelsea. I think everything got blown out. But Lampard, you could see the emotion when he scored every play.
I'm going to say right now, I think if Everton get a point this weekend against Leicester, they'll stay up. I think it's just enough. A loss to Leicester might just have the doubt creeping back in a little bit, and then you have Watford, Brentford. But I think if you go away to Leicester and you get a point,
it sets you up nice for those 2 games.
I think so. And then Palace after that too. I can't believe it. Fucking Chelsea and United kept these pricks up.
They're big game players, right?
But they play to who they're playing.
It sets up a good, at least it's a 3-team race.
It is, yeah. No,
we thought it was over a month and a half ago. I still think they're not going down, but I'm not as confident as I was a month ago. And I don't know, with Charleston heating up at the right time, a few lucky goals, but they're still goals, and they're just getting results. The defense is scraping on and holding it down, and
Who would have thought? Did you ever think you'd say that about an Everton, a Lampard team?
Okay, you would have me saying that about an Everton team, but a Lampard team, it's like I think he just needs a. This is, I think, the club he should be at, and I would like to see what he does with a full year up. Mm-hmm. I would say backing. They've had more backing than they would ever have dreamed of in the last 5 years, possibly even 7. Yeah, and they're still struggling. They spent more than Liverpool, I think, right?
It was like barely. No. It was like
30 million.
I think it was more. I think I'm going like 150.
No, I think it's like 30 million.
That should. I'm not gonna be able to find it. I'm not. There's no.
But it's been close. And look at them, 2 different directions. One's been at the top of the league for the pretty much last 4 years. Or doing well in Europe, and the other one is completely in a different direction and might need, a bounce back in the championship. But the championship's not easy to bounce back from, and Fulham make it look easy, Norwich make it look easy, but it's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah, you can get lost like Leeds. I'm not like I says things like I'm really up in Burnley, but I would rather have Burnley go down than Leeds. And I know you would. But that like Burnley. And like I really don't want to see Leeds go back down, man. I don't.
I want Jesse Marsch to have a good full year.
Yeah, well, he will. They're not going to fire him. I don't think they'll fire him.
No, I mean like a year in the Premier
League
instead of having to have him come back up, hopefully. Yeah. But I hope Leeds don't go down. I hope it's Burnley. At this point, how close we are to Everton going down, it would be funny. And I actually don't think they would come back up right away. I think they would come back in 2 years, but not right away.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The championship's hard, man.
It is. Then they would lose a lot of players. They would lose many players.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I hope we get to witness that. Okay, let's get on to City Real, and then we'll wrap up with the Europa League. Mike, please, what are you feeling for tomorrow? Big match.
I know. I'm not going to be able to watch it again.
Oh. I'm working too, but I can, my job is.
I think it all comes down to how Real start, and it's difficult to say that like against PSG, the first leg was horrible. They were lucky to almost get a tie. Yeah. That game should have ended 3-0 in PSG. They held on to pretty much the last kick of the game, and even against PSG, they the first 15 minutes you could see they were coming out with intention, but then they just kind of faded off, and PSG score not early, but like late in the first half.
Yeah.
And
a mistake gets them back in it.
Pretty much, and then from there they're flying. But they didn't start that well match. Going up winning 3-1 against Chelsea on the road, coming back home, you think they should get it done. Didn't start the match off well again. And I think it's important that they start off this match because City's a team that if you mess around for too long, I know Atletico held on for the 0-0 at home, and City just didn't look like themselves. And I guess the atmosphere and the style of play, it really didn't go against them. But I think with Real, defensively, they haven't been as good, and they've been. Well,
they're not a team that's going to go there looking to set up 9 men behind.
No, but I think they need to be on the front foot against City.
Sure.
Because if anything, City are going to be, if you score early, City are going to be the ones on the heels, right? Because they're so used to getting there and failing, right? And Pep's trying to make it's like if we can get back to the finals, we can do it this time. I think that's the mentality they're going. And
maybe looking too far ahead, but having Casemiro back is going to be huge because you saw in that first leg. Just you're talking about. On the first leg, just the gaping hole in Real's midfield. It was
with defense too.
Defensively, yes. Well, Alba's out, and I think he's been out since then. Actually, I don't think he's played since that he got subbed at halftime. But he is definitely out. But you could see it's just on the break too. It's just completely wide open. You had you guys had 3 number 8s in the midfield, and it's no one assumed that responsibility. So that's gonna be big for them in that sense. But you mentioned them really going into Paris and just kind of setting up for a draw.
Yeah, but it was a sloppily setup.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. And they were lucky to come away just down 1-0.
Yeah.
It's like the reverse effect in Manchester at that time. It was like, you guys were wide open. You still created enough.
Yeah. 3 goals.
They scored 3 goals. They also had other chances too. So it was like City let you in the game there.
They could have put it to bed early.
Yeah.
They could have put it to bed early.
They absolutely should have. Cancelo and Walker back. I don't think Walker's going to start though. I think Cancelo and Zinchenko will. I think they have to actually because I think Stones is out as well. So you can't. I don't think you can shoehorn Stones in even if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Nor I don't think should he at right back. So I think you have Cancelo on the right and Zinchenko on the left, which is more familiar.
And then if Walker needs to come on, Cancelo can just switch over.
Exactly.
If you start that one, you would have to just you're probably never going to take Cancelo out unless he's on a yellow and he's making some like rash tackles that you want to avoid to make a red. But if you start Cancelo and Walker, it's like Zinchenko's probably not going to get subbed in.
Well, I also think that
unless if they need attacking options and you just take Walker out.
Right. Well, sorry, bring him on.
Yes.
But I think in terms of the Champions League, especially, I'm sure Pep's glad to have him back. Walker, that is an option, but not to be, rushing him back in. I think he's still kind of in the doghouse for what he did against Leipzig at the end of the group stage. He is. And it's like, okay, you're injured. Glad to have you there, but Zinchenko and has proven to show up and at least be just a solid steward at the left back position for Pep in this last season. You've seen it in the last couple in the champs this time. So
he had a great game against Real.
Yeah, he does show up, and he's someone that can be relied on, and I think someone who kind of gets overlooked sometimes. Just generally speaking.
Is this Benzema's year though?
Man, I do want to see.
Just like 2 years ago, it was Lewandowski's year and he got robbed, and Bayern won the Champions League, and he's goal scoring machine. This seems like it's Benzema's year, and I think he has 41 goals in 40 games. Benzema,
I'd buy it.
I think it's 41 and 40, and I think 13 in the Champions, 14 in the Champions League this year. It could just be his year. But as much as I want Real to go through, I think they tie this game 1-1.
You know what, Mike?
I think they tie. I think they tie 1-1. It's going to be agonizingly close.
I'm going to stick with, the botching of Pep's City, especially, and just not and. Real have not fared well against City in the tournament, funnily enough. I think they're like 0-1-3 against them all time.
No, they beat them in the first year they got the trouble in the semis. Because that was the first time City made the semis.
Sorry, maybe it's 0-1-3 since Pep's been there. Does that make sense? Does that add up? 0-1-2? Well, City just beat them.
Yes, Pep wasn't there when they beat. When they won the first treble.
No. Yeah, I'm saying, but no, the COVID year. City beat them.
Oh, since COVID.
Since Pep was at City.
Yeah, I'm talking about when Real won the back-to-back.
I can just look at the head-to-head right now. Okay, so they have lost the last 4. Oh, that's nothing.
So it would have been 20. It would have been 2016.
Champions League final stage, 2016
was the semis, right? It was 0-0 and 1.
Yeah,
right. Those were the scores.
Yes, but they are 0-3 against Pep City.
But it's Ancelotti this time.
It is Ancelotti this time. I agree. I agree, but also, I think the crowd's gonna have such a big part to play in this. It can go either way though, because Real fans can turn on their team like that. Neither do I, and I don't think they do in this setting either. I'm going to go 3-1 Real.
3-1. I hope, but it's going to be 1-1, and
3-1.
We're gonna get the final everyone wants.
Who's everyone?
Most people want. Most people. I guess all of England wants.
Don't assume
everyone except for United. It would be nice to see those teams because it's been at least 4 goals every game they played this year.
Yep.
2-2, 2-2, then 3-2.
Yes.
Oh, What a final that would be.
Yeah. Watch us be cagey as all hell. 0-0.
1-0.
1-0. Probably 1-0. Either way. Okay. You got 1-1.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. All right. Okay, let's wrap it up with the Europa League. We will forgo the Conference League, but there's some good teams in there too.
We'll do the Conference League final.
Yeah, we can do that. It's really that's the best they can get. Okay. Rangers Leipzig. Honestly, Mike, I know you probably. What do you think of this?
Leipzig was at home for the first one.
They were.
Yeah, only 1-0.
It's tight.
That's perfect for Rangers. It's obviously not perfect. 0-0 would have been better.
They were very close to it too.
1-0. It was the 85th minute.
Yeah, Angelino screamer.
Yeah, it was a screamer.
Apparently, I didn't see it.
I
was told that.
I will watch the finals. But
you know what? I bet you. Yes, well.
Rangers. What else could you ask for? I believe. Like, I am hoping that they make
and what a goal, sorry. Angelino scores, and what a goal it is. The corner is cleared away by Sakala at the near post, but he doesn't get a lot of distance on the header. Angelino runs onto it and puts his laces through it. It cuts through the crowd and nestles into the bottom corner. That's really nice. Excellent ticker. I think that's what I was going on.
Basing it, you know what? That description is pretty good, but, if it's not a good goal, that guy deserves a raise because he piqued your interest for just by his description.
Well, he mentions I'm just going around telling people it's a screamer.
But they have nothing to lose, and I just hope Rangers play like they have nothing to lose. I know it's.
I don't think they're gonna play like that.
Really?
I think they're gonna. I think it's gonna be really tight.
You think KG? I think that if they have a chance to will their team to the final of the Europa League final with that crowd, they're gonna have what, like 50,000 at the Ibrox? Is that like 50,000 capacity?
I'm not sure.
I think it's close to that if it's not already. Why not? Why not just come out?
Because I think Leipzig will control the ball.
They should control the ball, but if they come out in the first 15 minutes. Hey, we're gonna know. Like Rangers come out and say we're not content with just the semifinal appearance. Mm-hmm. We want the finals. Yeah, it could put Leipzig on the back foot.
No, absolutely. And I think those first 15-20 minutes are absolutely key. So you're kind of going with the fact that Rangers are going to be able to take advantage of that and have them kind of caught off guard. I think it's going to be tight. I think Leipzig are gonna just slow the game down, and I think it's gonna be a goal nicked. I'm gonna go 1-1.
1-1.
I'm gonna go 1-1, but I'm gonna go, and I actually think Rangers will score first.
I hope so.
I do, but I think Leipzig will.
The better team will win.
Then Leipzig just need to either settle it down whenever they concede. And this is just obviously speculation, but. Either they get kind of rocked early or Rangers eventually nick one. But I think Leipzig can then just kind of simmer down and just chip away at them. They don't need to force the issue, right? Even if they're down 1-0, they don't need to force the issue. Yeah. But their quality can see them through. I'm going to go with the quality here. Tight though.
I'm going 2-1 Leipzig, but I'm hoping it's like a tight game. And late Rangers go for it is an achievement to get there because I think no one would have expected Rangers to be in the Europa League semifinal. But when you're there in the moment, it's like you kind of believe it's like a fairy tale run, and it's like it doesn't stop here. And I'm hoping that actually takes over and the quality of football is good, and it's like. They're going for it. If they lose, they're going for it. I would want them to win. I don't mind Red Bull, but it's like at this point, it's a fairy tale run.
Still all those attacking injuries for
Rangers. Yeah, but they got James Taverner healthy, right?
He's a penalty kick taker.
And he scored 20 goals.
Yeah, he had 18 penalties.
No, did he? I think he probably had like 13. But still, 7 goals, non-penalty as a right back.
This is all speculation, Mike. This is sheer speculation. So 7 goals as a right back.
7 goals.
That was so. No, he got 6 goals, 12 assists.
20 goal contribution. It's still 18, but
6 goals, 12 assists.
No, that was just in the league, though, was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
what else?
It's this cup. Conference League didn't exist yet. Oh, I guess
they were in it last year. They made a decent run last year too.
In Europa, yeah, because they won the league with Gerard.
Yes.
And they had Gerard.
Anyway, we're
rambling.
We're rambling about
2-1 Red Bull, but
okay.
Hopefully Rangers go through.
Now Frankfurt West Ham. Last week.
Did you see the police walking them in?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
no, I didn't.
God.
I didn't see
it
that.
It was
amazing.
Crazy. Yeah, what an atmosphere. This did I would want to go to this game. This is a new rivalry that we'll never see probably again.
Seville, man.
which is just kind of funny.
But what's funny is that we both had Frankfurt to win last week.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about the match like Frankfurt were at home.
Yeah.
So
it was a
underrated podcast, guys. Okay, fuck off.
But now West Ham's at home, and this is how they went through last round, right?
No, what? No, Frankfurt's at home. That's what I'm saying. Last week we were talking about it. I texted next day. I'm like, oh my bad. West Ham lost this match.
But I'm talking about West Ham didn't they win on the road?
Go to Lyon, yes.
Yes, and win on the road. So they are going to win this game. Okay, you tripped me out for a second. But that was a shocking
I didn't see that though. So the Frankfurt fans were getting
No, they were walking into the West Ham stadium.
Under police protection.
Yeah. And it was thousands of them. And I was like, this is some match. This is some match. And I'm hoping, it's the same, the reverse with, maybe the West Ham fans is the same. Clearly there's this rivalry brewing for probably, 2 months. But, maybe this is a Europa League classic. We'll see.
Well, no, because they won't be in the same group next year. The division. Frankfurt's not going to make Europe next year unless they make Champions League by winning this tournament. So, maybe in 2 years. Maybe in 2 years. Yeah. Frankfurt can't. They've put all the eggs in this basket, and they've been doing it for a while.
Hopefully,
man, safe bet for a long time is Bundesliga against Frankfurt for the last a month. Easy.
What do you think is gonna? You think Frankfurt's going through?
I think
they're all in.
I think Frankfurt is gonna hold on here. But I think it's gonna be tight again.
West Ham has nothing to play for too.
They have been rotating heavily in the league.
That's what I mean. They have nothing else but this to play for.
Well, but they could still get Europa, at least Conference League.
Yes.
They could at least get.
But I'm saying if they win this,
they're into Champions League.
Exactly.
This
is their route for Champions League.
This is definitely their priority, and I'm not knocking for that. But I'm just saying they have been rotating, and there's still something there. But this is clearly what they're gunning for here, and I think it's going to be tight. I don't think West Ham's going to be, intimidated by that raucous Frankfurt crowd. It's going to be absolutely mental there. It's going to be mental. It's going to feel a lot tighter than Olympic Stadium as well. It's going to be you'll be able to see it more on the TV too. You're going to be able to feel that crowd.
It's going to be like the Leafs yesterday.
I guess.
No, but I'm expecting fireworks this game. I think both teams are going for broke. I have 3-2 Frankfurt. 3-2.
Holy!
I'm telling you, it's going to be good.
I think it's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
I think it'd be good at 0-0.
No, this is going to be a high scoring game. It's going to be 2-1 after half, and then 3-2.
Yeah, I'm going to 1-1.
1-1.
I'm going to go 1-1. So Frankfurt, all German final.
1-1. Frankfurt won 2-1, right? Yeah, sorry. Yeah. It was a late goal, right?
Yeah. No, it wasn't that late, was it?
Wasn't it 80th? No, I guess that's anything after the 80th.
54th.
Oh, why am I confusing games?
Apparently. We're all over the map today. But yeah. I'm looking forward to that, but I'm looking for this tie, and I wish I saw that. It's just I wish I saw that. I must have the TV. I'm just
No, I saw it on Twitter, so I don't know if it was before the match. They showed it on the TV as well.
Sure.
But it was just I guess a West Ham fan or just someone.
Yes, filming it. Okay.
Just walking in, it's holy moly, just this fucking sea of Germans. Clear the way.
All right. Okay, guys. We'll be back on Thursday.
Thursday after.
Bunch of reviews.
Hopefully with a Real win.
And yes, also it is the thumbnail for this episode. Didn't mention them winning it once, but what a run! Ancelotti really got that team together and fast
and dominantly in the league.
It was honestly Mike. It's been like a couple months where it's been pretty much sewn up, and Sevilla was kind of hanging around maybe like a month and a half ago. They are now third place. The team that's given the most trouble all season is now third place, and 17 points behind them. Mm-hmm. It has been sound front to back, and Ancelotti managed it so well. At the beginning of the season, I remember kind of criticizing, at least being a little hesitant to be like, what's going to happen with him? Honestly, with Champions League group stage, all the Liga matches playing Casemiro, Cruz, and Modric, and all three of them have been phenomenal, and they have not tired whatsoever. It works. And it did. But you know what? When they clinched against Espanyol, he gave a lot of the kids a good run, and they smoked it.
Yeah, and he completed. I don't know. I'm not a Marvel person, but
are you gonna make a Thanos reference here?
Yes. You know which
the rings.
Yeah, he's got the fifth one.
He's got the stones.
He's got the fifth one, right? He's got five league titles with the top 5 countries.
No, he does not.
It's just 5 leagues. It's not the top 5.
No, well, name them. What are the 5 leagues?
Spain, Italy, England, Germany with Bayern,
right,
and France with PSG.
Nah, but France isn't top 5.
Aren't they?
No, I thought it's Portugal.
France. No, I thought. Oh, you thought I thought. Yeah, Messi's on a top 5 league. Yes, that's the joke. Oh, okay. 5 of the 6, but he's got his.
Doesn't have anymore, right? He was this close. He was this close.
He's got one with France, though.
He did it with France while France was in the top 5.
Yes.
I'll give him that.
But
you're fraud, Ancelotti.
You're
fucking fraud. Great photo. That cigar. What a.
He knows. Hopefully that's the inspiration they needed.
Honestly, man, please don't be so hungover from that. That wasn't that long ago. That celebration.
It was Sunday. They won Saturday. The celebration was Sunday.
Celebration was Sunday.
Yeah.
Wasn't that long ago. Hungover day.
Yeah, but they're home. They don't have to travel.
There's at least that.
And they knew they were playing the Wednesday. If it was a Tuesday, they would have done it after. But it doesn't matter. He can drink as much as he wants. It's the players.
It's the players. I hope he's still smoking that cigar.
I would hope not. He's a fucking slow smoker.
Yeah. Okay. See you Thursday, guys.
With hopefully Ancelotti.
Sue. Not the same, eh?
No. Ashley's laughing. She doesn't laugh.